In this video, I will teach you the science and exact steps that go behind creating viral shots. I have also added 2 gifts for you, so make sure to watch the video till the end. Let's get started. In this video, we are going to tackle 3 main motion animations and then top it up with color grading, sound effects and subtitles. Let's now start with the first effect. We will need a black background for that. Click on library. In the trending, you will find this. Simply drag it to the timeline. By the way, if you want to practice this alongside me, you will find all the resources in the Instagram group. Link is in the description. Enlarge this, go back to import and drag the white grid on top of this. Expand this so that it covers the entire black background. Now click on both of them and let's merge them. To merge them, we'll need to add a compound clip. Similar to nesting in Premiere Pro, in Capcut we have the compounding. For doing that, you have two options. Right click and create a compound clip, or you can press this shortcut. I'm just going to click over here. We have got our grid background. Let's add the first element, the board guy. Increase the size. We need to add a halftone effect on top of this as well as make it grayscale. First let's make it grayscale. Go to adjustments, scroll down, decrease the saturation to -50 and you can increase the brightness. You can keep it 10. Next go to effects, drag blue mosaic on top of the clip, decrease the filters, keep the texture at around 10 and the size can be around 30. We have got the halftone effect on his face. To add a wiggle effect on this, let's drag play pendulum on it. The two elements that you need to decrease over here, decrease the twist to 10 as well as 10 to 10. If you see now, it's wiggling. We can also decrease the speed, we can keep it around 25. Let's shift this up. The first effect is only going to last till here. Delete the rest. Now let's add the shapes behind him. I'm going to zoom in. First I'm going to drag all the shapes to a timeline and then we'll arrange them. We have our 5 shapes. Let's arrange them one by one behind his head. To take this behind his head, go to basic, scroll down. Over here you can see all your layers. Simply click on 2. It will go behind his head. Next one, reduce the size. And we have the last one. The first one will be blue, then purple, red, blue and purple. I'm just going to drag this below. Trim it in such a way that we fill around 20%. So I'm just going to trim it over here. Delete the rest. Same thing for this. Just drag it below. Trim it around here. Delete the rest. I'm just going to repeat the same process for the rest. And we have the last one. So we have all the shapes now perfectly aligned behind his head. Now let's work on the text. We have the word laziness which comes over here. For that, first drag the video over here. I have created this basic wiping effect in Canva. To remove the background, go to cutout, select chroma key, take the color picker and simply click where you have the color white. And then increase the strength all the way to 100. We can also increase the shadow all the way to 100. As you can see, our background is completely removed. I'm just going to reduce the size. We can keep it something like this over here. Now let's add the text on top of this. Click on text, add a default layer over here. Let's write laziness. To make it uppercase, just simply click over here. Drag this down. I'm going to use the bold font. It's a free font that you can get from this website. As you can see over here, the text is getting merged with the image. To avoid that, let's add a black gradient over here. Let's go back to the black background in media, library. Let's drag it over here, rotate this and make it full size. Then click on mask and add a horizontal mask. Again rotate the mask and then drag this. This will add a feather and keep it something like this. Go to basic, in layers, let's click on 4 so that it is behind a text highlight. Let's increase the size of the text, keep some gap between the characters. I'm going to keep it 1 and let's add animation. Click on animation. I'm going to use flipping and keep it little up, something like this. I will show you the final result of the first effect at the end, along with sound effects as well as with the color grading. Let's now move to the second effect, in which we are going to create this. Let's first drag the 3 circles to a timeline. We are going to use the same black grid background, so I'm just going to drag this till 5 seconds. And the red circle. Go to video. The scale, let's reduce it to around 60. Same for the rest too. This can be 60 and this can be 60 as well. Let's arrange them. Keep same space between all of them. Let's now add the keyframes. Take the playhead to the start of the clip, click on position and size. Now take the playhead 10 frames to the right. For doing that, you can press shift and right key. Add another keyframe, take it back and then reduce this size to around 1. Let's do this for the rest. This will start somewhere over here and the red one will start over here. I'm just going to keep this over here. Let's add the same keyframe. Take the playhead to the start. Add the keyframe. Take it 10 frames to the right. Add another keyframe. Take it back. And now decrease the size. I'm going to do it for a third time. See this? We have the 3 circles. Let's give some texture to the circles. Go to effects. I'm going to use doodle diary. Just add it to a circle. Decrease the sticker and decrease the filter. Let's do the same for this one. Remove the sticker and decrease the filter. And lastly we have the blue. Same thing for this. Now let's add the icons on top of this. I'm just going to shift this somewhere over here. When he says not doing your task, let's add the task over here. Reduce the size. In animations, let's add a zoom in. I'm also going to add a play pendulum on top of this, so that it has that floating wiggle effect. Go to effects, add play pendulum on top of this, decrease the strength as well as decrease the twist. Just repeat the process for the rest 2 icons. Arrange this properly. Go to animations and give it a zoom in. Let's add the last icon. Go to animations and give it a zoom in effect. Before we merge them, let's add the play pendulum effect. Go to effects, drag it to this icon, reduce the strength as well as the twist. Same thing for this one. Drag it, decrease the strength, decrease the twist as well.
100% their fault.
So where he says is 100% their fault, you need to merge all 3 of them and create a white circle. Let's do that. So I'm trimming this down somewhere over here where the icons will vanish. Cut and delete, cut and delete. Now let's add keyframes to the circles. I'm starting with the red circle. Go to effects. In position and size, click on keyframe. Take it 1 frame to the right. Add another keyframe. And take this up in the middle. Let's do this for the rest. Over here, add the first keyframe. We'll adjust the keyframes later. First, let's take the circles to the center. Take it 1 frame to the right. Add another keyframe and take it to the center. Let's do this one final time. Click on the blue circle, add a keyframe, take the playhead 1 frame to the right, add another keyframe and take this to the center. Over here it is happening very fast. So let's increase this duration of the next frame that we have added. I'm just going to keep it somewhere near the 5-second mark. So if you see now, it's happening more smoothly. But if you want to take this to the next level, let's add keyframe animations. In order to do that, let's start with the red circle. Click on the clip and click over here, which says show keyframe animation. Or you also have the shortcut which is Alt+K. Take this to the right. In the drop down, click on show keyframe graphs. Over here, click on this keyframe. And then either we can add a graph which is ease in or ease out. I'm just going to use auto curve. Same thing for the last one. Add a auto curve. If you see now, it is merging very smoothly. I'm going to repeat this process for the other 2 circles. For closing this, again press on Alt+K. Same thing over here. Click on the keyframe, press auto curve, click on this keyframe and press auto curve. Close the animation by pressing Alt+K. Let's now do this one last time. If you see now, they are merging very smoothly. Let's extend our background. Simply click over here, press Alt and then drag this to the right. We'll trim out the excess later. Where we have added the last keyframe, let's add the white circle. Go to media and drag the circle to the timeline. Let's add same keyframes. Add a keyframe, take the player to the start, another keyframe and let's decrease the size. Let's just see how it's looking. Now let's add a text 100 in the middle. Go to text, drag the default layer over here, simply trim this down, go to basic, write 100%. It's the same font. In color, let's use the blue color. Go to color. Do you see this color picker? Simply click on it and then you can choose this color. The text looks too small. Let's increase it by dragging it from the sides and center align it. In animations, let's give it a randomizer effect. So the effect ends over here. So whatever is excess, I'm just going to trim it out. Now let's move to the final effect. Drag the background to the timeline. It will start somewhere over here. Make sure it covers the entire clip. We can give it a fade in effect. Add the chains on top of this. This is a video which I have added in the resources. Let's increase the size. Keep it in such a way that a part of the hand and the chains are visible. Let's trim the unwanted part. Basically, when he says unlock yourself, the chains must break. Let's trim out the excess part. Delete this. I'm going to enable this. Again, press on V. Now let's add the axe. Okay, so it can come over here. Okay, first let's give a texture to the axe. Go to effects. Add blue mosaic on top of this. Decrease the filter. Decrease the size as well. Again, click on the clip. Go to adjustments. In adjustments, decrease the saturation. You can keep it something like -30 and decrease the blacks as well. Let's keep it -15. In blue mosaic, let's keep the size to around 50. So the axe can come into picture somewhere over here. Let's first add the keyframes and then we can adjust them accordingly. Add a position. Can be something like this. The axe should fall on the chain somewhere over here. So add another keyframe and then rotate this. It is happening very slowly. We'll need to add a keyframe over here. Add another keyframe. Take the playhead over here. Add another keyframe. Rotate this and delete the first keyframe. Let's trim the clip from the start. Keep it something like this.
Unlock yourself.
We can increase the size as well. Let's increase the size. Let's add a chain breaking sound effect over here. Go to media. Reduce the sound a bit.
Unlock yourself.
Delete the excess part. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this animation. Now let's work on the subtitles. Then we'll work on the color grading. And then finally we will add the sound effects. For subtitles, it's very easy on Capcut. Simply click on text. In auto captions, select the language which you desire and click on generate. It takes less than a minute, hardly 20 seconds for them to get generated. Go to captions. Over here you will find all the subtitles. Don't keep more than 3 to 4 words in one scene. Okay, I'm happy with this. Now go to text. In system, let's choose our font. Take them little up. Just make sure that before you choose the font, click on this, apply to all. This will make sure that the font is consistent across all the subtitles. Then scroll down. We'll need to add a glow effect. Click on glow and decrease the intensity. You can keep it something like 30. Few of the subtitles are not required, so I'm just going to delete them. Where we already written 100, we don't want it to be repeated in the subtitle. Let's delete this. Let me see the rest. I'm going to make one final change to the subtitles, where in this scene I'm going to increase their fault. Before you do that, make sure that you uncheck this and keep their fault something like this. Go to animations and give it a flip up animation. So we are done with the subtitles. Let's now work on the color grading. Click on the main clip. Go to adjustments. Scroll down. In the brightness, increase the brightness and keep it around 12. And you can decrease the blacks to around -10. And increase the sharpness. It can be around 20. The last effect which I want to do is add a vignette effect on this. What this does is adds a black gradient on the sides. You can keep it something like 30. Just going to make the same thing over here. Okay, this looks nice. Now let's add the final sound effects. Go to media. I'm going to keep it very simple. Add a shutter sound effect over here where we say the initial laziness. The shutter sound is important so that when anyone is scrolling their feed, it immediately captures their attention. You can add it over here, decrease the volume, and again let's add the same over here. Simply click on Alt and drag this over here. Now let's add the cherry on top, drag it to a timeline, increase the size, go to video, in blend, let's give it a screen effect. We can decrease the size a bit and keep it somewhere over here. And let's add it again over here. Let's add the shutter sound where we have added the transition. Now let's see the final clip.
People think that laziness or not doing your task or not picking up a book or not exercising is 100% their fault. No, there's something called conditioning. And it's from that conditioning that you must kind of unlock yourself to then recondition your mind. Because if you don't program yourself, somebody will program you.
I'm super happy with the result. Now coming to the final part, I have not forgotten your gifts. As promised, I'm giving access to 500 plus sound effects and 25 plus transitions that you can use to level up your projects. You'll find a download link to this in the description. Thank you for watching the video. If you want to learn how to edit like pro YouTubers, you can check this playlist. And I will meet you next time.